Good morning to all the NEET aspirants. This is your Prasanna Ma'am from NEET World. So yes, we are here today to discuss about our questionnaire session from respiration and plants, where we are in our last segment of the questionnaire practice. That is, we are going to discuss the questions on amphibolic pathway and RQ quotient. So these 2 points are very important beta, that we can expect the questions from this as numerical based question or directly connecting dots between different cycles or different steps of aerobic respiration that we have learnt, be it glycolysis, link reaction or aerobic respiration. Connecting all those dots of intermediary steps, the questions will be raised in the amphibolic pathway. And when it comes to RQ quotient, we can get the questions based on different respiratory substrates like carbohydrates, proteins, carbohydrates, proteins, might be fats, might be. So organic acids, based on the different respiratory substrates, the RQ value will vary. Let us exercise all the questions. First, if you have to look into this question beta, which of the following is important in carbohydrate and fat metabolism? So in this question he is asking you which of the following is important both for carbohydrate metabolism and fat metabolism. Both of them, the important intermediate for carbohydrate and fat metabolism together is what? Acetyl-CoA. Because during fat metabolism, the fatty acids, after further oxidation, they will give rise to that intermediate, that is acetyl-CoA. Whereas the carbohydrates, which of the following is important in carbohydrates? Carbohydrates at the beginning of the Krebs cycle, that is 2 carbon compound acetyl-CoA, is beginning the process of TCA cycle. Clear, right ma? So here carbohydrates and fat metabolism, the common intermediate over here is acetyl-CoA. Next question, which of the following steps of respiration is amphibolic? Which of the following steps is amphibolic? Glycolysis, the end of the glycolysis, it is pyruvic acid. Pyruvic acid will be the intermediate or the end products. It will be joining by proteins, okay. Protein will be joining the TCA cycle by pyruvate. So at the end it is in glycolysis. So we cannot consider glycolysis as an option which is amphibolic, because in amphibolic process, any of the amphibolic process, both catabolism and anabolism have to be involved. Yes, the answer will be acetyl-CoA, yes ma. But here you look at the second question and answer ma. Oxidative decarboxylation of pyruvate, okay, second option, oxidative decarboxylation of pyruvate. He is talking about link reaction. In link reaction, as it is only one step, there is no both processes involved, both anabolism and catabolism are not involved. Whereas in TCA cycle or Krebs cycle, if you have to consider TCA or Krebs cycle, many intermediary pathways, okay, are involved, where few are the end products of few biosynthetic reactions. Both catabolism and anabolism are conducted, and the intermediates which conduct this catabolism anabolic reactions or anabolic reactions can be alpha ketoglutaric acid, succinic acid and malic acid. At these steps, anabolism and catabolism both will be conducted, and the initial beginning step, that is acetyl coenzyme A, that we have seen in the previous question also. So all these intermediates which are of TCA cycle will be involved both in the processes of anabolism and catabolism. So this TCA cycle will be called as amphibolic pathway, that is option C is correct answer. Yes. Next question you see ma, if proteins act as respiratory substrates, then they would be degraded by what? Proteases, and the individual amino acids after deamination, depending on their structure, will enter into what pathway he is saying. This is related to our previous question only, you can answer easily. So proteins will be degraded by proteases, forming out what ma? Amino acids. Yes. The answer is correct, very good. Next question, listen to the explanation clearly, then we can move to the next question ma, okay. So some points in the explanation you can take a note of it, because that will be an add-on for you. So here you look into it. First, proteins will be degraded to amino acids. Amino acids losing amino group. Okay, amino acids losing amino group. That is called as deamination. That will be subjected to the further steps of what? Krebs cycle. Okay, so Krebs cycle. Here the answer will be, it is within the Krebs cycle, depending on their structure would enter into the pathway at some stage, that is Krebs cycle. Clear right now? Next, RQ of 4, 1 and 0.7 occur in the case of what? So here you look at this question, what is respiratory quotient? Respiratory quotient is nothing but the amount of carbon dioxide evolved during respiration by the amount of oxygen that is consumed. Okay, this is called as what? RQ value. So RQ value will be varying with respect to the respiratory substrates. If the respiratory substrate is oxalic acid, malic acid or aspartic acid, where the amount of oxygen evolved will be more and carbon dioxide evolved will be less and oxygen consumed will be more. So here oxalic acid, where the RQ value will be 1, whereas RQ value is equal to 1. It will be more than 1. Oxalic or aspartic acid, RQ value will be more than 1. Carbohydrates, RQ value will be equal to 1. Okay. Tripalmitin, which are fats or lipids. For fats or proteins, the amount of carbon dioxide evolved will be less and oxygen consumed will be more. So here in tripalmitin or fats, it is 0.7 and 0.9. So here the option will be, right answer will be option B beta. So RQ value, do remember, if it is 4, that is greater than 1, then you have to choose the organic acids like oxalic acid, malic acid, aspartic acid. If it is equal to 1, then it is definitely carbohydrates. If it is 0.7 or 0.9, then it is what? Tripalmitin, fats or lipids. Here you see assertion reason type of question, which is very important. Look at this properly and answer. Okay. All the organic molecules of food are destined to be oxidized as fuel to make what? ATP. That is wrong, because all organic molecules of food are not destined to be oxidized. Few are diverted as what? Intermediates. Here few are diverted as intermediates. So here assertion cannot be true. Whereas here you see in the reason, the catabolic pathway intermediates cannot be diverted to any anabolic pathway. No, the catabolic pathway intermediates can also be diverted. The products can be diverted to some other anabolic pathway. So here both assertion and reason will be false. Yes ma, it is option D. Next, a value of RQ less than 1 means. Value of RQ less than 1 means, just now we have discussed. If RQ value is less than 1, then the respiratory substrates would be either fats or proteins. If it is fats, the RQ value will be 0.7. If it is proteins, it will be 0.9. So carbohydrates will be the respiratory material. No, RQ value will be equal to 1 right now beta, and organic acids are used as respiratory substrates. If organic acids are used, then it will be more than 1. Oxidation of respiratory substrates consumes more oxygen. Oxidation of respiratory consumes less oxygen than carbon dioxide released. So here the option goes good is option C, oxidation of respiratory substrate that consumes more oxygen. Okay. So here the option is C. Okay. Next, this question you look into ma. If the volume of carbon dioxide liberated during respiration is more than the volume of oxygen used, the respiratory substance will be. Look into the question properly. Volume of carbon dioxide liberated is more. Carbon dioxide liberated will be more and oxygen consumed will be less. So here numerator will be greater than the denominator. So it will be, the value will be what? Less, greater than 1 only, right? So here the answer will be option B. Volume of carbon dioxide liberated will be more than the oxygen consumed. So here the right answer will be what ma? B, that is organic acids. Next question you look into, which of the following respiratory materials may show the unit value of RQ? Okay, unit value means he is saying RQ value will be equal to 1. Just now we have discussed na beta, RQ value will be equal to 1 in carbohydrates. Carbohydrates are present in stem of wheat, seeds of barley, leaf of oat. So, all these options will be correct. So, the right answer will be all of the above. Done ma. Next question. Very good. There is a huge response today. Very nice. Look into this question also. What will be the respiratory quotient of the mixture be when the quantities of groundnut seeds and germinating maize have been taken? Okay. So, here he is asking you RQ value will be what when the quantities of groundnut seeds. Quantities of groundnut seeds means what? It has what, Nana? Fats or lipids, right? And germinating maize, it is proteinaceous in nature. So, RQ value will be less than 1 when fats and proteins are taken, right ma? So, here the right answer will be option C. Okay? It is less than C. For fats it is 0.7, for proteins it is 0.9. Done, right ma? Next question you look into, assertion and reason type of question again. Oxalic acids has less RQ in comparison to lipids. Wrong. Oxalic acids will be having the value of more than 1 than lipids, right? So, assertion goes wrong over here. Reason, if you see, oxalic acid has relatively more oxygen in comparison to lipids. Yes, it has more oxygen when compared to lipids. Here, assertion is wrong, but reason is true. Then, if the assertion is wrong and reason is true, once again you look at the reason properly. Oxalic acid has relatively more oxygen in compared to lipids. No, lipids will be consuming more oxygen, right, than oxalic acids. Lipid will be consuming more oxygen. In this case, assertion and reason both are false only. Okay. So, here option D will be the right answer. Yes, both are wrong. Very good ma. Next question. Which of the following statements regarding mitochondria is incorrect? So, this question is in 2019 of your NEET ma, previous year question. Look at it properly and answer. Enzymes of electron transport are embedded in the outer membrane. Wrong. If you have to consider the structure of mitochondria like this, okay, it has outer mitochondrial membrane, inner mitochondrial membrane and intermembrane space. This is inner mitochondrial membrane and here it is intermembrane space and this is mitochondrial matrix, right beta. So, over the outer mitochondrial membrane we learnt that the outer mitochondrial membrane is completely permeable, whereas the inner mitochondrial membrane consists all the electron carriers, protein channels, whichever are required for the transport, okay, whichever are required for the transport of ETS, they are present where in the inner mitochondrial membrane. So, the enzymes of electron transport are embedded in inner mitochondrial membrane, not on the outer membrane. So, this is incorrect. Let us look into the other options also. Inner membrane is convoluted into infoldings, that is why it is called as what? Cristae, okay. Third option you look into, mitochondrial matrix contains single circular DNA molecule and ribosomes, where in the mitochondrial matrix it has single circular double stranded DNA and 70S ribosomes. Next question you see, outer membrane is permeable to monomers of carbohydrates, fats and proteins, okay. This is correct only because outer membrane is completely permeable. So, here as he has asked you the incorrect statement, option A goes correct with this question. Next question you look at it beta. So, here if you see which statement is wrong for Krebs cycle or TCA cycle. Incorrect statement with respect to TCA cycle, 2017th question. There are 3 points in the cycle where NAD plus is reduced to NADH plus H plus. Let us recall what are those 3 points. Is that true? One from isocitrate to alpha ketoglutarate acid. So, this is the first point where NADH is released, and the second point alpha ketoglutarate to succinyl coenzyme A. Alpha ketoglutarate to succinyl coenzyme A. This is the second point where NADH is released. And third point, that is malic acid to oxaloacetic acid. Oxaloacetic acid, which is the primary acceptor or which is the starter for TCA cycle. This is the third point where NADH is released. So, the statement is correct only. Second, if you see, there is one point in the cycle where FAD plus is reduced to FADH2, that is from succinic acid to fumaric acid or succinate to fumarate. This is the point where FADH2 is released. During the conversion of succinyl-CoA to succinic acid, a molecule of GTP or ATP is released. GTP or ATP, one and the same. Very good. So, this is also correct. The cycle starts with condensation of acetyl-CoA, correct only, with pyruvic acid. Wrong. It is not with pyruvic acid, it is with oxaloacetic acid. Okay, it is with oxaloacetic acid to yield the citric acid. Option D is right. Yes, you are giving right answers only, ma. Just try to continue here. Whenever you are having any doubt, you just drop a message in the chat box, I will be answering you. Right, ma? So, this question is clear to you, know, beta. Option D will be correct because the cycle starts with condensation of acetyl-CoA with oxaloacetic acid. OA is the starter for the reaction, not pyruvic acid. Okay, pyruvic acid turns to acetyl-CoA. Here it is not pyruvic acid, OA. That is why the wrong statement for this is option D. Yes. This you look into. Very important question. Long back asked, but still now we can expect such questions. So, look into that keenly. The three boxes in this diagram represents the three major biosynthetic pathways. This is pathway A, B and C. In aerobic respiration, arrows are given here. The net reactants or products will be what? So, here he has asked you, we have to give the numbering of 4 and 8 and 12. So, one thing is common, right? Arrows numbered 4, 8, 12 all can be what? So, at the end of glycolysis in 7th and 10th steps, ATP is released and the net gain of ATP in glycolysis will be 2 ATP. And in Krebs cycle as well, ATP is released, okay, and after ETS also ATP formation takes place inside the mitochondrial matrix. So, what is common over here? ATP formation. So, undoubtedly we can choose the option B, okay, wherefore that ATP is released at the end of glycolysis. Then pathway B, let us assume this as Krebs cycle. 8 can be what? ATP release again when succinyl-CoA to succinate step, and here at the end of ETS also ATP formation takes place where inside the ATP formation takes place inside the mitochondrial matrix. No issues, ma, mistakes are common, learn it, okay, have patience and answer beta, then you can answer it easily. Good going, ma, you are answering nicely, just go through. Assertion and reason, okay, assertion and reason, here you see assertion and reason type of question. The respiratory processes occurs simultaneously with substrates entering and getting utilized as and when necessary, okay. So, this is correct only. The respiratory processes, they will occur simultaneously, right, with the different substrates, fats, proteins, carbohydrates, different substrates will be entering and they will be utilized whenever they are necessary. So, here assertion is true only. Reason you see, ma, the net gain of ATP as calculated during the course of respiration is not exactly accurate and is based on the several assumptions. The net gain of ATP calculated during course, no, it is accurate, okay, be it in any assumptions. In a eukaryotic cell after aerobic respiration, the complete ATP or net ATP is what? 36 ATP is produced, okay. So, it is not exactly accurate, but then it can be calculated, net gain of ATP can be calculated. So, here assertion is true and reason will be false. Option C is the right answer, ma. Next question, recognize. This question you see, beta, very simple, recognize the figure and find out the correct matching, okay. This is from your direct chart of NCERT in amphibolic pathway. Look at here, we have 3 respiratory substrates, right, fats we have, carbohydrates we have, proteins we have, okay. Fats, if you have to see, we have 2, right, fatty acids and glycerol. We know glycerol will be entering into the cycle of glycolysis, glycerol will be entering into the cycle of glycolysis in the 5th step as an intermediate. So B we can take it as glyceraldehyde, and A can be taken as what? Fatty acids and glycerol. Fatty acids will be joining the cycle as what? Acetyl-CoA. It will be joining the cycle as acetyl-CoA. And we all know proteins turns to amino acids, they get deaminated and they will enter the respiratory pathway by pyruvic acid. So here it will be what, Nana? Pyruvic acid. Glyceraldehyde, here glycerol will be entering, glyceraldehyde 3-phosphate is already there. This can be isomerized to what? DHAP, dihydroxyacetone phosphate. You are not able to understand the total English. Okay, I will go a bit slow, ma. Try to understand here. Fats, carbohydrates and proteins. This is complete English class beta, but for your concern I will go a little slow. Okay. Fats will be oxidized to what? Fatty acids and glycerol. How we named it as A as fatty acids and B as glycerol? Glycerol will enter into the intermediate step of glycolysis as DHAP. Till here it is clear, no? And this you see, fatty acids will be entering as what? Acetyl-CoA. This is also fine right now, beta. Proteins to amino acids will be deaminated and they will join and they will be joining the aerobic respiratory pathway as pyruvic acid. So here A is fatty acids, B is glycerol, and proteins turns to amino acids, that is E will be acetyl-CoA and D will be pyruvic acid. Now you choose what option will be correct, ma? What option will be correct over here? Look at here, C is DHAP, E is acetyl-CoA, D will be pyruvic acid, A is what? Fatty acids and B is glycerol. Option C will be right answer, na? Is it clear, ma? Yes, good. This question you see very simple and easy. Quite time it is connected with biomolecules also. So look into that keenly. Match the column 1 and column 2 and select correct option from the codes given below. He is saying fats made from 3 fatty acid chains attached to glycerol. If 3 fatty acid chains are attached to the glycerol, we will call it as what? Triglycerides. Yes or no? 2 fatty acids are attached, it is diglycerides as such. B, if you see, glycolysis metabolite made from glycerol. Yes, glycolysis metabolite made from glycerol. It is from glyceraldehyde. So B is 2. Storage form of glucose is what? Glycogen. Glycogen is the storage form of glucose. Result of running reactions of glycolysis in reverse. In reverse, if you run the reactions of glycolysis, what do you get? The primary starter of the reaction, that is glucose. So here what will be the answer? A will be 3, B is 2, C1, D4. Right now? Very good, ma. Very good. Next question you see. This will be the last question. Hold on, have patience and answer. Select the correct option A, B, C and D. Okay. Select the right answer A, B, C and D. I hope this is clear to you. First is what? A can be fats because they are oxidized to what here? Fatty acids and glycerol. Right now, beta. And here B will be what? Proteins, because they are with the action of proteases they get turned to what? Amino acids. And here C, DHAP2 glyceraldehyde 3-phosphate. Clear, right? And here pyruvic acid is turning to what? Acetyl-CoA, which is the starter of the reaction. Clear? So here what will be the answer? A is fats, B will be proteins, C is glyceraldehyde 3-phosphate or phosphoglyceraldehyde, D will be acetyl-CoA. So here option A will be the right answer. Clear right now, ma? So with this we are done with the chapter respiration in plants. In our next session, we will be starting with the questionnaire of plant growth and development, which is very important that we may expect the questions from growth or development or the questions connecting with anatomy of higher plants, okay, like differentiation, dedifferentiation and redifferentiation, or we may get the questions from plant hormones for sure. be it plant growth promoters or plant growth inhibitors. So, all that we will be discussing from our next class. I would like to end the session. You are most welcome, ma. Join each and every session. It is just for half an hour. This will be very useful for you actually. Okay, it is just 20 to 30 minutes of questionnaire practice where you can recall many concepts, where you can answer everything, and parallelly practice also will be done. Let me end the session by giving you a brief description about NEET World's special programs which we are running over here. We have NEET World's 2 steps to medicine for 11th standard students. We have NEET World's 1 step to medicine for 12th standard students, and NEET World's power step to medicine for repeaters. For all the 3 courses or programs, the fee is very minimal, that is just 3333 per month. It is very minimal. Okay. So, in this fee only you will get complete offline or online lecture content. Okay, complete offline or online lecture content you will get, and then you will get 2 master revision strokes, and then you will be getting the complete study material access also. So, to know more about these programs, you can call us to the given number, or you can directly visit our branch. No issues if you are scoring 14 and 2 went wrong, no problem at all. Okay, no problem at all. You can learn by each mistake. Okay, every mistake is a teacher for you. Okay, don't get disheartened or disappointed. Even if you solve 2 questions, 14 went wrong also, don't get disappointed. Okay, every mistake is a teacher beta. Okay, learn from your mistakes, whether is it because of conceptual inclarity, or is it because of your confusion, or is it because you have to revise the NCERT once again. Look into those, analyze and mold your preparation accordingly. That's it. You should not get disappointed anywhere. Okay, next. So, lastly I'd like to tell you about Telegram group. Okay. So, we have in our NEET World's Telegram group, this will be the best option for all those students who are learning in the public platform or who are preparing on their self for NEET 2026, wherein in this Telegram group you will get daily quizzes of biology, chemistry, physics and mathematics also who are preparing for JEE, and you will be having live class schedules informed to you, and free resources of questionnaires, booklets, flashcards will be provided for you, and then one-on-one doubt solving sessions with faculties are also given. So, to log in into this, you can scan this QR code and log into the Telegram group, or you can log into this by our official website, that is www.neetworld.in. Okay. So, this is all about today's class beta. In our coming session, just in our next session which starts at 11:45, we are having a class on photosynthesis concepts, that is we are going to learn C4 cycle, CAM cycle and differences, clear differences between C3, C4 and CAM. So, all of you without fail join to that class also, that will be highly beneficial for you. It will be an interactive class, and join to that class as well. Okay? Thank you.